Josh Turiel.
Okay, so how did you get to be the first customer?
Well, I would have been on the committee. Since before opening, these guys opened for medical, I've been involved. I've been on the city council for 7 years. I was here at the ribbon cutting and during their whole licensing process, and then when I was on the committee looking at our recreational applicants, I came here, I had asked Chris, who runs this place, I'd asked him if I could come down and learn about their process and how they do things and how they do business. And he was gracious enough to allow me in here and spend about an hour and a half teaching me how their business operates, and how they package and measure and how they handle sales. And I said to him kind of as a joke at the end, that like, you know, this is really impressive. If you need something to be your first customer, you know, just give me a call. And then on Monday, he gave me a call. I thought about it for about a half a second. You know, well, I haven't used marijuana since I was like in my early 20s, but you know, this is a really neat chance to be a part of history, and it's interesting. It's something that we've decided as a state is something that's fine for adults to use, and so I don't see any reason why not.
So what are you going to buy in?
Well, I'm buying a pre-roll, which is what we back in the Stone Ages used to call a joint, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it into a piece of lucite and put it on my shelf as a cool trophy today. And then honestly, I'm going to buy whatever the nice young ladies here suggest that I should buy. So we'll find out.
The process of coming in is simple. You have to come in by appointment. So when you go in, they check your name against their schedule. They check your ID to make sure you are who you say you are and that you're of legal age. And then you're buzzed in through a man-trap room. It can only be buzzed out one way, and that's simple and straightforward for security. They have a metal detector that they can use if they have any suspicions, because there is more security, because at the time, until the federal government finally straightens things out, this is a cash-only business. So there are more security concerns that you have with that. So that's really the process. And then once it's in, these are professionals that you work with. They are people who've been trained, who know what the products are, who know what the products can do. And if you tell them what you're looking for, whether it's a fun time on Saturday night or just unwind after a day's work a couple of times a week, whatever that might be, they'll guide you through what will probably work best for you.
I want something for a cool souvenir for starters.
Yes.
So hopefully you got something hooked up there.
We do. We have pre-rolls, they're right here. White Widow, Chronic, and Amnesia Haze. I pulled Chronic for you.
Ooh,
because it's old school, it's a popular one. It can go in your souvenir.
Yeah, on that trophy shelf.
Trophy shelf, there you go.
All right, well let's see, I guess, let's see that first.
So that looks like this. Okay.
Oh, it comes with a little test tube.
It's a test tube, okay. It's a gram in the pre-roll.
For at least the next 6 months or so, I expect ATG will be the only one of these businesses open in the city, because the other businesses are just starting to go through the licensure process, and it takes time. They got their clearance from the city back in, I think, the end of May, and it took until mid-December for them to get through licensing, get through inspection, and open up. And this is a business that's already been here for 3.5 years. For all these places that are starting from scratch, I'm figuring at least 6 to 9 months before we have more open.
There's a whole bunch of different things in the menu. You've got flower strains, you've got a whole bunch of different kinds of cartridges, beef, whatever that is, and decarboxylated oils.
Okay, so we can start with the cartridges. We have 3 different kinds. These are 45. These are a smaller sort of compact cartridge, not strain specific. They come in sativa, indica, hybrid, and flavored.
Okay, so you kind of mix things.
Yes.
Okay.
We then have craft cartridges. These come in 2 sizes. That's just pure distilled cannabis oil, so that's why it's a higher potency. These are strain specific, so we have those in sativa, hybrid, indica.
It's really kind of a unique honor to be a part of this little moment in history here in Salem. I mean, we're not the first in the Commonwealth. This has been happening for a couple of weeks. It's the first time in Salem that anybody has ever been able to purchase this product legally. And I think that's kind of neat.
The group you have here, this is pretty much comparable to the day they opened for medical marijuana. And that's a really good sign. As some more places open, I think a lot of that novelty factor is going to wear off, and people realize it's not a special occasion to commemorate like my purchase today was, because it was the first. It's just something routine that you do. The same way you might go to the liquor store on a Friday to buy a bottle for you and your friends for that weekend, or a 6-pack of beer or whatever, you might come down here and buy a vape cartridge or something. As time goes by, this will be demystified a lot, and it won't be nearly as much of an experience. And then at that point, it's routine, and the appointment system should go away.
Someday in the future, when marijuana is pretty much fully normalized for people, there will be people remembering long after I'm done with this job that, yeah, the first guy to buy it was me. And that's kind of neat.
We have these cartridges over here. These are 60. No, I'm looking for 50.
The 250 or these?
These ones. These are the $50 ones. Great. So these ones also come in sativa and indica. These are a lower potency because they have a food grade additive in there to just kind of lower it if you don't want such a high potency. These are 2 different sizes, so a 500 milligram and a 250. That's over here.
I see. So the 250s are $60 and the 500s are $90. So it's
they all work on the same pen.
Yep. Okay.
We should get a good contribution once these businesses are well established. And that's good because if we can bring that revenue into city coffers, it's the kind of thing we can use to try and hold down property tax increases and stuff in the future. It's not just about buying new things, it's about being able to try and hold down costs as best as possible. And the 2 easy ways to do that are new growth, so new construction, new commercial real estate, new residential real estate, like the buildings right behind us that are brand new that just went up and the ones across the street from that. That's the kind of examples of new growth, and businesses like hotels that open up where you get a hotel tax, restaurants where you get a meals tax, and the marijuana establishments where we have the excise tax from them.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to ATG and to Mayor Driscoll and also to the officials over at Peabody who've worked with us on this to come up with the traffic management, to come up with the appointment system. We've also done a lot of work with our tourism office.
Decarboxylated oils, those come in a syringe or a sort of a plunger. That's 1 gram in there. Those are $75. And that's an active. So decarboxylated just means it's active, so you don't need to heat it up or anything like that. You can put it right under your tongue, you can put it in a drink, you can bake with it.
Okay. That's the old brownies thing.
That's the old brownie, the new brownie way.
So we also, our tourism agency in the city is doing marketing to local businesses, trying to get some of these patients and customers who are coming from around the state to stick around. Come spend some money in our stores. We have one hotel that's doing specials overnight for people who want to come and stay. I don't know what they're calling it, probably the Wake and Bake, but there's a lot of work in the city trying to make sure that this is successful and that this goes smoothly and that any issues that we might have are minimized.
So flowers up here, sativa, which is going to be your daytime, that's more of an energetic head high, sort of an uplifting effect. Indica is the opposite, that's going to be your more of a body high, nighttime relaxation, pain, stuff like that. Hybrid is a balance between the 2. So depending on which way it's leaning, these both are pretty much right in the middle.
What are you gonna get?
Yeah.
Whatever your nice young lady tells me. I'll talk to her about what might be interesting and let her guide me. That's what these people do here, have been doing for patients and for ages in their profession, so I trust them.
If you have a grinder and you're grinding up your flour or something like that, there's little powder that falls off of the flour.
Okay.
That's called heat, so that collects and you sprinkle it usually on top of a joint or in a bowl or however you're smoking your flour. You can always vape your flour too. You don't need to smoke it in the traditional way. You can put it in a vaporizer, a dry vaporizer, and it turns into vapor.
I'm buying one quote-unquote pre-roll, which is what they call it, right? Pre-roll. I'm buying one pre-roll as a souvenir, and I'm going to buy something to consume myself, because why not? I haven't done any of this for adult or any purposes since let's say the end of the 80s basically, but although I did go to the Fish concert when they were at Fenway Park, and so I'm pretty sure I was baked then, but not deliberately. So my usual thing is I'll go home and after dinner I might sit in the lounge chair and have and pour a glass of bourbon over some ice and just sit there and sip it for a few hours, just kind of relaxing at the end of the day.
Yep.
So what would be what you guys would go with for something like that?
Are you
that kind of
leaning?
experience.
You're leaning to the cartridges, correct?
I think so. I don't smoke anything. So.
Okay. I would recommend a hybrid for you. Let me find the 250. They're over here. So these are the smaller ones. So normally, if you're just trying one, you don't normally want to buy the big one. You would go with the smaller one. And the Blissful Wizard, the Girl Scout, I would go Girl Scout because it's just a balanced, happy medium. Not going to make you fall asleep. Not going to give you too much of a head high.
Well,
right
you
in
know
the
your
middle.
job better than I know this job, so I trust you on this.
Okay, I'm going with that one. And then you're going to need a battery for that as well. So there's directions right here. I'll put this in your bag.
Ultimately, I think this is a business just like any other. And you have liquor stores next to liquor stores here in Salem, and I don't really have any inherent problem with having a couple of marijuana stores competing with each other next to each other. But I don't think it's how you start.
A USB charge. You have 4 heat settings, okay? This is your button.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to turn it on. That was on. So that's on. Purple is your lowest heat setting. So now that the pen is on, you're just going to unscrew that. Your cartridge is in here, okay? There's a thread cover covering that. You take that off, you would screw it onto here. Because your pen is on and it's on purple, you can just inhale. It's going to light up purple as you inhale, and that's how that works. If you wanted to go up to the next heat setting, there's 4 heat settings, you just click twice.
What would the different heat settings be for?
Higher heat, bigger hit, faster, it goes down faster the higher that you go. But
more that you burn at once, basically.
Right. So we recommend starting on purple.
That
on the
sounds
lower.
like a pretty good idea.
Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns it up. Okay. Most important, storing it upright. Okay, so mouthpiece up. We do recommend taking it off with your pen when you're done, but you can put it into like a little shot glass or something like that to keep it upright.
Like a toothbrush or something.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to learn in the new world, so.
There is. There's a lot to learn.
So you said you're on city council.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this being on city
What was this before? I have no real issue with it, and I never have. Adult-use marijuana has never been something that has bothered me in the slightest. I know people who use it medically. I know people who use it for fun. So long as people are adults, I don't have any issue with people doing something like this. So they're coming to Salem. That's fine. We just take the precautions to avoid traffic, to avoid possible issues that could come up from it. And other than that, it's something that, as a city, it's going to provide us revenue. It's going to provide us some people coming to the city, and I really don't see the issue.
Do we feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are doing a pre-roll of chronic.
Okay.
Pre-roll, which is a joint. We are doing a battery.
I remember that term.
Yes. A lot of people don't know what pre-roll is. And we're going to do a Girl Scout cookie 250 craft cartridge. It's going to be 107. Please.
I know the price.
Thank you.
And eventually we will be putting this on a credit card someday, but we've got to wait for Washington on that one.
Yes, we do.
I know that we are getting a total of 6% in direct taxes to the city. We're taking the 3% that the state gives us, and then we have the additional 3% excise that we adopted as well. So 6% of every transaction. I spent just under $100. $6 of that goes right to the city. In ATG's time as a medical retailer, we've been getting approximately 3% from them, and that amounts to roughly $380,000, I think it was, in the past fiscal year. So there's definitely money to be had.
Okay, you're all set.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
So the experience was very simple and straightforward, kind of an anticlimax. The people who work in there are professionals. They know their products. They know what their effects are. And really, they're doing the same job they've been doing. They're just selling to a new market.
So how has everything gone this morning so far?
Very smoothly. The crowds that we anticipated coming in earlier really never appeared. We had a very orderly crowd. It looks like people are sticking to the appointments only schedule, and right now everything's running very smooth.